Good afternoon, everyone, from Brooklyn, Mississippi, and South Forest County. It's time for District 7 4A high school baseball action as the Forest County Aggies are at home this afternoon. As you see, we get right down here by home plate as the Aggies host the Sumrall Bobcats. I'm Kelly Sander along with producer-engineer Jeremy Thompson on a overcast day. Rain in the forecast for later on tonight. This game was originally scheduled for 3 o'clock, so it was not moved because of any potential weather. But it looks like that's going to be a terrific move anyway because rain expected to move into the area later on tonight. So the Bobcats and Aggies getting ready to play a district contest here. Coming into the contest today, the Aggies are 2-13 overall with a 1-6 record in district play. Sumrall 16-5, 5-2 in the region. Purvis firmly in control of the region race at this point. Next week, Purvis plays Lawrence County, which Lawrence County will probably be one of the two teams looking in and outside the playoff picture. Meanwhile, it's a little tougher for Sumrall next week, the end of the regular season, as the Bobcats have the home and away against the Poplarville Hornets. So getting ready to lead it off here is Dennis Jackson for Sumrall. He'll be followed by Hunter Barrett, the third baseman. Mason Story bats third. He's the first baseman. Garrett Robbins, the designated hitter, batting in the cleanup spot. He'll be followed by Billy Garrity. Cross Sibley on the hill today hits for himself and will hit in the 6 hole as Scott McMurrian goes up with the right hand as we are underway here today from Aggie Field on the campus of Forest County AHS. And rounding out the Sumrall batting order, Graham Crawford, the catcher. Zane Berry at second base bats 8th. Here's a high chopper towards short. Dennis Jackson can run quickly, and it's an errant throw. But it'll be ruled an infield hit as Jackson got the high hopper and would have beaten out the throw anyway. So a hit for Jackson has him aboard at first. Then batting 9th for Sumrall is Tanner Morgan. So again, for the Rawcats, it's Jackson, Barrett, Story, Robbins, Garrity, Sibley, Crawford, Berry, and Morgan. We'll set the Aggie offense for you when they come to bat, but we can tell you the battery. Blake Polk, the pitcher, Donovan Shows, the catcher. Donovan Shows, the senior catcher for Forest County, has committed to Meridian. He will be an Eagle next year. And the rest of the infield has the 8th grader Cody Bickford at third base. The shortstop is Clinton Morse. There's a bunt down the third base line, but it just works its way across the line and foul. Mario Green is at second. The first baseman is Wade Riles. And then the outfield for the Aggies from left to right, it's Landon James, Daniel Kelly, and Jason Garner. Depth perception can be a little difficult here. Is that wind blowing out or in? Throw over to first base. Looks like it's blowing a little bit out toward the right field. Every once in a while, you'll see some of the cows work their way up from the pasture to get a free look at the action on the field. That pitch is outside. They called the pitch out. Throw to second base. Dennis Jackson is thrown out as it was kind of a high pitch out, but it acted as a pitch out nonetheless, so 1 out. As Donovan Shows rifles it down there to ring up Dennis Jackson. Next pitch to Barrett bounces outside, 2-1. Scoreboard in the left field area, unlike at Sumrall where it's in right. It says this school, Forest County AHS, has such a rich history. One of the last schools to actually have an active dormitory on campus where students lived on campus, and they had quite a foreign student population here, even as late as the 1980s. That pitch missed. 3-1 now to Hunter Barrett with Mason Story on deck just underway. Bases empty, 1 out for Sumrall here in the top of the first. And he takes a pitch outside for ball 4. So second Sumrall runner on base.
The batter is first baseman Mason Story.
So Barry or Barrett rather, is on at first base, and here's Mason Story, the first baseman. Story has hit in the 3-hole and the 4-hole. Really good for average hitter. Secondary lead at first base, and a breaking ball dropped in there by Blake Polk for strike one. Story looks at Larry Knight. You see the goats begin to gather on the left field wall, hoping that the Aggies don't play too bad here today. That pitch actually hit him on the left elbow, so Story will take his spot at first base.
Designated hitter.
And on the play, Barrett will move to second. So runners on first and second, one out. Sumrall looking to do some damage here in the top of the first inning. The DH Garrett Robbins takes a fastball strike right at the knees. Scott McMurray, the home plate umpire. Mike Cullip down there at first. Ben Stewart at third, your umpiring crew. Robbins, the DH. Next pitch is low, but blocked nicely by FCAHS. Sumrall scheduled to play West Jones tomorrow at 11 a.m., but the prom is scheduled at West Jones, and the rain isn't even supposed to stop until generally 9 o'clock tomorrow morning after raining all night. So the West Jones game probably will not be played, but we'll keep you posted. That pitch is low. 2-1 now to Robbins. Javen Williams, the right fielder, is who Robbins is swinging it for. Christy Martin has already checked in from Folsom, Louisiana on the web. Well, it doesn't even matter if it's a 3 o'clock game. She knows what the schedule is as Robbins takes a healthy cut at it and missed it. 2 balls and 2 strikes now to the designated hitter with Barrett at second, Story at first. And 1 out here for Sumrall in the top of the first. District 7-4A action. We mentioned that Purvis has its destiny in its own hands as far as winning the district goes. Sidearm pitch is low, 3-2. And next week, Purvis has Lawrence County, so that scheduling certainly favors Purvis to lock down the number 1 seed, although the Tornadoes have not done that yet. Meanwhile, Sumrall looks very good as a 2 seed right now in the playoffs. Payoff pitch, runners not going, and Robbins fouls it into the netting to our right. Count is 3-2 now, as we'll do it again. Obviously, Sumrall in their road grays. Some will call that charcoal. Aggies in their home whites trimmed in maroon. 3-2 pitch again. Swing and a miss. Snap throw back to second base. Robbins is retired on the strikeout. So with 2 away, here's Billy Garrity. Garrity playing right field today, which is probably where he has logged most of his innings this year. He's also played some at third. He has pitched a couple of innings. He's caught and has also played some first base. So just about the only place that Garrity hasn't played is the middle infield. Sidearm fastball missed high and in. Ball 1. Blake Polk on the mound for the young Aggies. Starting a couple of 8th graders, including Bickford at third and Landon James in left. Off-speed pitch. Drops in there for a strike. 1-1 to Garrity. Garrity, a left-handed hitter. Polk, the right-handed pitcher with 2 outs. Runners will be off to the races on any contact. That's outside. Another snap throw down to second. FCAHS has a terrific throwing arm. They noticed that right away at Meridian when he committed to head there next year, but I wouldn't be surprised if FCAHS gets some D1 offers pretty early in his JUCO career. The 2-1 pitch. That bounces in there. 3-1 now to Garrity with Cross Sibley on the on-deck circle. Sibley pitching today. Raymond McCraney not to be outdone by Christy Martin checking in from Marrero, Louisiana. Another big Let's Go Bobcats. These district games are the ones that count big. 3-1 pitch is outside, ball 4. Garrity coaxes a walk out of Polk. So the bases are full of Bobcats. Barrett at third, Story at second, Garrity at first. And here's Sibley now to help himself. The left-handed thrower, the right-handed hitter. From the full windup with the bases loaded, the first pitch is a strike up in the zone. So, to me, that looked like a strike. I know the fans didn't like it, thought it was a little high. Swing and a miss. Sibley went right back after the same pitch, and that's what a hitter has to do, is adjust to the umpire zone. So 0-2 to Sibley. Cross just wants to try to put it in play here, make the Aggies make a play. That one's high and away. 1-2, tried to get him to fish. And speaking of fishing, you could right here in the front of the campus. As you pull in here at Forest County AHS, a beautiful fishing pond right out in front of the campus. The 1-2 pitch. Check swing. Call up. The first base umpire says that Sibley did go, so he goes down on strikes. So the Bobcats leave the bases loaded, something they don't certainly want to get in the habit of doing. No runs on a hit. Again, 3 left on base. So let's take a look at the Aggie batting order. Mario Green, the second baseman, he'll lead it off, followed by Colton Morse, the shortstop. Morse was the starting and losing pitcher in Tuesday night's game for the Aggies. Then comes the heralded catcher Donovan Shows. Blake Polk, today's starting pitcher, in the cleanup spot. He'll be followed by Jason Garner, the right fielder. Daniel Kelly in center. He's batting 6th. He'll be followed by the first baseman, Wade Riles. And then we mentioned the 2 8th graders, Landon James batting 8th. He's in left field. And Cody Bickford, the third baseman, bats 9th. So you talk about a very talented young group of Aggies. As Cross Sibley goes to work, the undefeated freshman for Sumrall. The lefty on the hill. Normally, he would be the starting pitcher in game 1 of a series. But to try to conserve some miles on the arm, and Hunter Barrett needing some work, Larry Knight gave the nod to Barrett in game 1 of the series, and he certainly performed admirably. And now Sibley to get his work in on the hill here to face Forest County. We mentioned the Aggies 2-13, 1-6 in the district. You certainly don't need a hiccup here going into the Poplarville series next week. And for all practical purposes, that Poplarville series next week will determine who's the 2 seed and who is the 3 seed. While the Tornadoes of Purvis continue to roll. Was that final score today 18-0 or something over Poplarville? I mean, they walloped the Hornets. So here's Mario Green. The quick, sure-handed second baseman for the Aggies to lead it off against Cross Sibley here in the bottom of the first inning. And we are literally right down here on the screen, sitting back behind home plate. People would normally pay big money for these tickets. Sibley from the full windup brings it right down Broadway for strike 1. Anthony James in his coach's box at third base. Coach Gatlin's been here a while now in Aggie land. The 0-1 pitch. There's another one on the inner part of the plate. Sibley just rifling the fastballs in there. The wind now blowing straight out to center field. 0-2 pitch coming from Sibley now. They set up outside. Just missed low. 1-2. So the Sumrall defense, as per usual, Barrett at third, Tanner Morgan at shortstop, Zane Berry at second, Mason Story at first, and the outfield left to right. Today, as the 1-2 pitch missed, 2-2 now, as Javen Williams in left, Dennis Jackson in center, and big-time Billy in right field. No score. Aggies batting in the bottom of the first inning. Swing and a miss. Mario Green down on strikes as he swings right through a fastball that Sibley challenged him on. So one away.
The batter is shortstop, Colton Morse.
So here's Clinton Morse. Swung on, chopper to short. Tanner Morgan measures it, gets it over to first base. A little bit short, but Story scoops it up and digs it out of the dirt for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 down. A lot of you texting in today, so we know a lot of you are watching. Some of you texting in saying that the picture's freezing up a little bit, but that the audio is fine. But we're kind of out here in rural Mississippi where the cell signal not as strong as perhaps some other places. So we'll do our best to keep you up to date. First pitch is outside to Donovan Shows. What makes Shows even more marketable than that great throwing arm he has behind the plate is that he's a right-handed thrower but a left-handed hitter, and he hits with power. He's a baseball guy, is Donovan Shows. Sibley behind in the count now, 2-0. There's a fastball and a shot right back up the middle for a base hit. Shows had a couple of hits the other night against Sumrall, and he continues to be red hot. As he slaps a 2-out single up the middle. Darren Norad checking in today on our text line at 601-310-7077. Blake Polk will get ready to face Sibley now. Polk, the pitcher for the Aggies. So the two pitchers battling each other here as the sun begins to fight on this Friday afternoon. Sibley looks at the runner and floats one in there high. Ball one.
First base is number 23, Riley Polk.
Riley Polk, Blake's little brother over there at first, running for the catcher Shows. 2 outs, bottom of the first inning, no score between Sumrall and Forest County. There's a fastball strike. Polk tried to hammer it and missed it. 1-1 now the count. The Aggies traditionally have had terrific football teams. In the football field over here to our right. And a fan base, particularly in football, that is really loyal. Here's a drive to left center field. That ball is down. Almost went out of here. Rounding second on his way to third, Anthony James waves the runner into third and then holds him up there. So the younger Polk is safe at third. Blake Polk is safe at second. And the Aggies have runners on second and third with 2 away.
Batting for the Aggies, right fielder, Jason Garner.
So they'll be moving on contact.
Second base, number 22, Justin Zoe, or Tyler Strong.
Strong has come in to courtesy run at second base. And they'll be moving on contact with 2 away. Sibley from the stretch. To Garner hitting 5th in the order. Curveball drops in there nicely for strike 1. The wind kicking up here. Anytime that there's potential for rain in the area, you know there's going to be some wind kicking up. Sibley surveys the runners. That wind is blowing dead out to center field, and that hit that Polk had didn't really look too menacing off of the bat, but it just kept sailing and landed at the base of the fence. Sibley checks the runners and now comes to the plate. Off of the plate. A ball and a strike now. Should Garner reach, then the center fielder Daniel Kelly would come up to bat. Aggies batting in the bottom of the first inning here in Aggie land. No score. The Bobcats left the bases loaded in their half of the first. Cross Sibley gets the sign. The left-hander kicks and delivers. Another bender, but that missed inside. 2-1. And Scott McMurray in the home plate umpire. His son, quite a baseball player, quite a catcher in his own right at East Mississippi Community College, where he is a Lion. And now Larry Knight has called timeout, and he will head to the mound. Again, tomorrow's game with West Jones, originally scheduled for 11. That's iffy right now. I mean, it has not been postponed or delayed or anything officially. But again, because of the weather expected to come through, West Jones really doesn't have a lot of wiggle room because it's prom for them tomorrow night. So there is a potential that the Bobcats would not play West Jones, but would play another high school to be named later on tonight or even tomorrow at Sumrall. Because of that turf field, and it drains so well. But follow all of your Sumrall Bobcat social media sites, and they'll let you know exactly what's going to take place tomorrow. And then the last week of the regular season next week. 2 games against Poplarville and then 1 against Oak Grove to end the regular season. 2-1 count to Garner. The pitch. Inside corner strike, 2-2. So now Garner cannot give up the inner part of the plate. He's got to be ready to pull the trigger here. If he cocks the bat ready to hit, runners should also be ready at second and third. The 2-2 from Sibley. Breaking ball. Missed outside, 3-2. Thought he was going to go up for just a moment with the right hand, but count is full at 3-2. Runners cannot take off on 3-2 here because nobody is forced. So a big pitch here coming up for young Cross Sibley. The payoff. Swing and a miss. He challenged him and struck him out. Each pitcher has struck out 2 in the first inning. And where the Bobcats stranded 3, the Aggies strand 2. So we go to the top of the second inning here in Brooklyn. No score thanks to our Bobcat Baseball live stream sponsors, including Diversified Forestry and Premier Orthopedics, Doctors Burns and Bayless. Big supporters of Bobcat Baseball. South Group Insurance, the largest independently owned insurance agency in the state with 4 locations around this area to serve you. Would be Hattiesburg, Columbia, Collins, and McGee. Dyket's Professional Drugs in Laurel. You can download their app and be able to order your prescriptions over your phone. Also get medical questions answered. Also online. Dyket's Professional Drugs. Thank them for their generosity. And MCS Insulation and Building Supply. If you use it in, on, or around your home, you'll find it at MCS. And take a bite out of those electrical bills by investing in more insulation for your home. MCS Insulation and Building Supply. Crawford, Berry, and Morgan for Sumrall here in the top of the second inning. Wildcats looking to keep the winning streak alive here. As Blake Polk, who tried to help himself with a double, comes back up to bat. Swung on, ground ball to Green at second base. He gobbles it up, throws over to first, and there's one away. So 1 pitch and 1 out as Crawford is out on the 4-3.
Bobcat second baseman Zane Berry.
And here's Zane Berry now, the second baseman. Righty versus righty, the matchup as clouds continue to move in. You can also actually kind of feeling it getting just a little bit cooler as the day goes on. That pitch is high. 2-0 now to Berry with Tanner Morgan on deck. Final game of this regular season series between these District 7 4A rivals. There's a strike, 2-1 to the really athletic, quick, and speedy Zane Berry. That's why he plays in the secondary for football at Sumrall. That pitch is out, 3-1. You've heard so much of the home runs and the RBIs that some of these guys have put up, but somebody who has really helped the Sumrall team, particularly defensively, has been Tanner Morgan. He's on deck as Berry takes the walk. Tanner Morgan has saved Sumrall a lot of runs just by his quick hands, consistent throws, and heads-up decision-making, which lots of times does get lost in the shuffle. But here's Morgan with Berry at first base. First pitch is high to Morgan, ball one, and then Dennis Jackson in the on-deck circle. Jackson beat out an infield single his first time up. Now as the school day is over, more and more folks making their way to the ballpark. Second pitch to Morgan is in there for a called strike. And really, why not head to the ballpark? It might be the only baseball you'll see this weekend if Mother Nature again has her way. It seems like she's been pretty fickle lately, deciding to rain only on weekends. Throw over to first base. Berry's back in time. You know, we can put a man on the moon, but cannot control the weather. I guess you could live in San Diego, California, but you'd pay for it. 1-1 the count to Morgan. Bobcats have a runner at first with 1 out. Swung on. This one's fouled out of play. Got a good, healthy swing at it and fouled it right back over the press box. Larry Knight through the series of signals. You know, the new way of doing things is with the wrist coach that a lot of these high school players wear, but not the Sumrall guys. Larry Knight said, not on my watch. Throw to first base behind the runner, but a nice job by Wade Riles to pick that out of the dirt. 2-2 to Tanner Morgan. Sumrall batting in the top of the second inning. No score between the Bobcats and the Aggies. And now Morgan backs out of the box. Back to work is Blake Polk. Here comes kind of a hit and run attempt that was fouled out of play to the right. Zane Berry was on the move. So Knight again will go through the signals. Scott McMurray asking for 4 baseballs at home plate. Count stays 2-2. We'll see if Berry is off to the races again. He is. Breaking ball, called strike 3. Morgan is out. But Berry steals second. So 2 away. And it'll be up to Jackson to plate him.
Center fielder Dennis Jackson.
Jackson was working that batting average up a little bit closer to 300. Donovan Show's out to make sure everybody's on the same page here. If Jackson would even perchance try to beat out a bunt. Cody Bickford, the 8th grader at third base, knows that something might be up here. Also, the first baseman, Wade Riles. So we'll see if that's how Sumrall plays it or if Jackson's got the green light to swing away. Pickoff attempt at second base. Barry back with a hand. Close play. But a good pickoff attempt there by Polk. There's pitch to Jackson. Another snap throw to second. I think the count is 1-0 to Jackson. But 2-0. That's off the plate. 3-0 now. Sumrall batting here in the second inning. They've had some base runners. Whereas the game on Tuesday night, both pitchers did a really good job of keeping both teams in check. The Aggies played terrific defense for about the first 5 innings of that game. And then uncharacteristically kicked 2 baseballs around on consecutive hitters. The 3-0, position A strike. And so Jackson will get busy now with a 3-1 count. So many gifted just athletes on this Sumrall team. Breaking ball, that's there. So now he's got to use the bat. Anything close? I think it's 3-2, a 3-2 count. Scoreboard says 2-2. Obviously, one of us is wrong. Inside. Yes, the scoreboard was right. It's 3-2 now. With Hunter Barrett on deck, loosening. Should he be called upon here? 3 strikeouts already recorded by Blake Polk. And we're here in the second inning. The payoff. Ball 4. Jackson heads to first base. Barry's at first, and it looked, it was up just a little bit, and maybe even a little bit out. So here's Barrett. He walked his first time up. Blake Polk sets, now will throw to second base and actually hits Barry right in the shoulder blade as he was trying to get back to the bag. That cannot be any fun, taking one right to the upper part of the back. Whereas as far as athletes go, that's not a well-padded area up there. So runners will be moving with contact, 2 outs. Crawford led off the inning by grounding to second. Here's the first pitch. Swung on a shot right to the first baseman on the line drive. Wade Riles snags it. Almost trying to keep his head on his shoulders and made the catch. So Barrett kind of robbed there on the line out. No runs across and no hits. There were a couple of walks. So we go to the bottom of the second here in Aggie land. And for the Aggies, it'll be Kelly, Riles, and James. Daniel Kelly, Wade Riles, and Landon James. William Carey University, a sponsor of Sumrall baseball for over 100 years. Been educating not only young people, but some of us older people that have wanted to go back to school and see what things are about with constantly changing technology and needs in the workforce. William Carey is on top of all of it. You can log on to williamcarey.edu and find out where you fit in. and how you can fit in to the workforce. William Carey, helping all students be prepared to do every good work. Proud supporters of Sumrall Bobcat Baseball. Clouds getting darker as time goes on, but a very comfortable afternoon here in South Forest County. And I mean South Forest County. You go about another 3 or 4 minutes down Highway 49 and you're into Stone. So here's Daniel Kelly, the lanky right-handed hitting center fielder. And he'll face the left-hander Cross Sibley.
Center fielder Daniel Kelly.
Kelly hitting 6th in the order for Coach Anthony James. The first pitch from Sibley misses high and away, ball 1. So when it looked like the Bobcats might be on the road again tomorrow, they might, as it turns out, wind up right back at home. So keep posted again to all the Bobcat social media sites to let you know exactly what's going on tomorrow. Tried to hold the swing up, but went through for strike 1. Aggies batting here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. In game 2 of this 2-game District 7 4A series. Swing and a miss. Sibley ahead in the count now 1-2 as Sibley looks to remain undefeated on the season. What a freshman year Cross Sibley has had. The 1-2 pitch by the lefty. Called strike 3, fastball on the outside corner. And Kelly kind of knew it, but kind of delayed his approach back to the dugout, making sure that Scott McMurray called it strike 3. And here's Wade Riles now, the first baseman who made a terrific play on Hunter Barrett just a moment ago at first base. First pitch is a fastball strike. The thing about Sibley is if he misses out of the strike zone, he never misses by much. I mean, he's remarkably consistent for as young as he is. That's the difference between a thrower and a pitcher. And McMurray took that one off the mask after it bounced. It'll ring your bell just a little bit. No runs, 2 hits for the Wildcats. No runs, no hits for the Aggies. Bases empty, 1 out. The 1-1 pitch. Sibley misses high and away. 2-1 to Riles, hitting 7th in the order. Landon James was going to hit next, but it looks like they've got somebody else on deck there getting loose. That pitch is high. 3-1 now. Sibley behind. Again, never misses by much. Just imagine if he stays injury-free, how really good he's going to be by the time he's a senior and the opportunities that he'll get to have in front of him. 3-1 pitch. High and inside, ball 4. So we'll see how the Aggies play this now.
Batting for the Aggies is Alec Adams.
Alec Adams. And there's a strike. Adams batting for Landon James. The Aggies have a runner at first, with 1 out here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Actually, that is where we are right now. Swung on, and this one is poked out of play to the right. Wind blowing briskly now out toward right field, where Billy Garrity is out there on guard for Sumrall. Bottom of the 2nd inning. The 0-2 from Sibley. Fastball, strike at the knees. Beautiful pitch. And down he goes. That is the 4th strikeout already for Sibley.
Third baseman Cody Bickford.
And here's Bickford, who had a terrific game defensively on Tuesday night. Throw over to first, the runner's back. Bickford, just an 8th grader. So Sibley in this situation, as the freshman, is the graybeard. You got a 9th grader and an 8th grader. Right out there getting to show their wares. The first pitch is a fastball right down the tube. Riles at first with 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 2nd inning, no score between Brooklyn and Sumrall. Dennis Jackson over toward right, shading him to go the other way. Should Bickford reach, then back to the top of the order, and the speed merchant Mario Green. So if Purvis next week has Lawrence County, and Sumrall has Poplarville, beautiful breaking ball dropped in there, swing and a miss. That means that the Aggies next week will play Greene County. The most likely scenario for the playoffs would be Purvis 1, Sumrall 2, Poplarville 3, Greene County 4. Another breaking ball called, strike 3. Bickford knew it, and Sibley strikes out the side. Of the 6 outs recorded, 5 of them are by strikeouts. That's how you get to be the ace of a baseball team, is not only not giving up hits, but striking people out as well. We want to thank La Torre's Fine Foods on Highway 42. Don't forget the lunch special, which includes a salad and a drink. Great place to go after church on Sunday with the great variety of menu items, always top-notch. Anytime you talk about restaurants in Sumrall, La Torre's is always at the top of the list. La Torre's on Highway 42, not far from Larry Knight Field. And always a place to go for great food. You were talking about the success that Sibley is having on the mound. With 5 strikeouts out of the 6 outs so far. Coming into the game, he had a record of 5-0 with an earned run average of 0.48.
Leading off for Sumrall, first baseman Mason Story.
So here's Mason Story in the top of the 3rd to lead it off. Story was hit by a pitch his first time up here in the top of the 3rd inning. First pitch to him is away. Ball 1 is Blake Polk out there for his 3rd inning of work. This wind is briskly blowing straight out of center field. Old Glory pointing the way out there. The 1-0 pitch swung on. Here's a shot to right center field. That ball's got a chance, and that ball is off the base of the fence, and Story will make a wide turn and hold at first. So a leadoff single for Story. And here comes Garrett Robbins, who struck out swinging in his first at bat.
Designated hitter for the Bobcats, Garrett Robbins.
The DH Robbins swinging it for Javen Williams, who's patrolling left field. Second to last week of the regular season. Seems like it just got started. First pitch to Robbins is high and away. Sumrall knows that Donovan Schaus is not afraid to pull that trigger behind the plate. Throwing behind the runners, going back into the bags. Catchers lots of times are kind of like caged animals. They've got to be pouncing. They've got to be making some kind of play. There's the throw over to first. Garrett Robbins, righty versus righty, the matchup here. The 1-0 pitch just missed him as he turned his shoulder away. That one was staring him right in the teeth. 2-0 now. Robbins has a fastball count. Anthony James flashing through the signals, calling the pitches from the dugout. Throw again over to first. With no runs on the board, you wouldn't expect teams to get necessarily too aggressive on the bases. 2-0 pitch to Robbins, and he was looking for the fastball, got it, and poked it foul of third. So 2-1. Sumrall batting here in the top of the third inning, no score. Glad that you're with us. We've heard from Marrero, Louisiana. We've heard from Folsom. 2-1 pitches off the plate. 3-1 now to Robbins, who again is set up for a fastball count. We've heard from Brother Norad, who texted in. Where are you listening or watching the ball game from today? Give us a text at 601-310-7077. We'd love to know. 3-1 pitch to Robbins. Swung on, and this is a moonshot. Foul down the right field line. Will anybody get there to make a play? And it just drops over the fence. Great attempt by Jason Garner, the right fielder, who kind of reached up and put his glove over the top spikes of that fence in order to try to come down with it. But the count fills at 3-2. And I would not think that Story would be in motion here. On 3-2, but we'll see how they play it. He is not in motion. 3-2 pitch. Breaking ball. Strike three, and Robbins is out. So Robbins is out, and here's Billy Garrity.
Bobcats, Billy Garrity.
Garrity walked his first time up. Sumrall trying to get on the board here. The pesky Aggies. That one's fouled out of play right over here, our heads left of home. Sumrall batting in the top of the third. The inning started with Story singling. Robbins took a 3-2 breaking ball strike, and here's Garrity now with a 1-1 count with Cross Sibley on deck. Last two times these two teams will meet during the regular season. 1-1 pitch. Outside and high, 2-1. This very simple jersey that Sumrall wears today, just with the royal blue S in the upper right-hand corner. 2-1 pitch. Low just a little bit. And it's 3-1 now to Garrity. Throw over to first base. Back in time. Stacy Temple has texted in. She says, is this where we text in? Yes, this is it, Stacy. You can contact us during the ball games. Glad to have Stacy. I think her favorite player is probably Sully Clark. There's ball four. Garrity waltzes down to first base. Runners on first and second now with one out.
Batting for Sumrall.
And here's Sibley.
Cross Sibley.
Sibley struck out looking. Larry Knight will make a running substitution. Hayden Barrett will run for Mason Story here. So with runners on first and second and one away,
Second base is number 9.
Sibley's got an opportunity to help himself. That is the third walk issued by Polk He's also hit a man. I stand corrected. 5 walks with a hit batsman, but Sumrall has nothing to show for it. So let's see what Sibley can do, hitting 6th in the order here. Sumrall continuing to bat here in the 3rd inning. First pitch to him is down the middle for a strike. So now Hayden Barrett at second, Garrity at first. And now Blake Polk off of the pitcher's mound and ready to get back to work. Wanted to go to second base, but nobody there, and alertly Polk hung on to the baseball rather than throw it to nobody. He'll have to get back to work here pretty quick with Sibley. The 1-1. That one's there. Snap throw back to first, runner back. And so Sibley has dug himself a 1-2 hole here. With Graham Crawford on deck. Sumrall trying to break through here in the top of the 3rd inning in Aggie land. That pitch is high. So 1-2 now to Sibley. A waste pitch there was off the mark. Next district game is at home on Tuesday, I think, against Poplarville. We'll check that for you. 1-2 pitch, swing and a miss. And back to second base. Hayden Barrett got too far off the base, and he gets rung up. So a double play.
For the Bobcats, there were no runs on
The Bobcats, their own worst enemies there.
one left on base.
So again, the Aggies have issued 5 walks, but Sumrall has not been able to cash in. In that inning, no runs on a hit. So we go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. The Aggies will send the top of the order up there to face Cross Sibley. We want to thank Martin's E-Tax in Sumrall, located right across from Town Hall, for their support of Aggie baseball. You know, this year you've got till April 17th to file your individual taxes, but Martin's E-Tax open all year round to help you with your business tax situation as well. They'll make recommendations on how to ease those taxes a little bit, or what you can do to take advantage of the new tax code that was just passed. Martin's E-Tax service across from Town Hall in downtown Sumrall. Martin's E-Tax proud to support Sumrall baseball.
Yeah.
It is Tuesday at Sumrall. The Hornets will come swarming on Tuesday, and then down to Pop Vegas on Friday for the end of the district regular season.
Then the Oak Grove tournament Saturday,
And
or the Lamar County tournament.
And then Sumrall will get to play Oak Grove. The Warriors in a battle in their own district against Petal and George County. Meridian will be the odd man out in that equation. So Sibley will get one more warm-up pitch, and then the Aggies will get to work in the bottom of the 3rd inning. We are still scoreless. You know, in the game the other night, on Tuesday, Sumrall didn't get any runs until the 5th, and they added one more in the 6th. The Aggies got one in the 7th, so it's kind of takes a while for them to figure it out, but then they make the most of it.
Leading off for the Aggies, second baseman Mario Green.
So here's Mario Green. Sumrall defense is as it started. First pitch from Sibley is outside and high, ball one. A 3 o'clock start here on this Friday afternoon, which it was originally scheduled for a 3 o'clock start, and probably just as well, because if the weather forecast turns out to be true, might not have been able to play it tonight anyway. There's a swing and a miss. Sibley already with 5 strikeouts on the day, where his counterpart also has rung up 5. High and away, 2-1 to Mario Green. He'll be followed by Colton Morse. Morse was the starting pitcher in Tuesday's game. Today playing shortstop. The 2-1 pitch from Sibley. There's a fastball that splits the plate. 2-2 now to number 2. The 2 second baseman for the Aggies. That's high and away, 3-2. So the count fills now. It just seems to me like the Bobcats just a little step behind today. Just kind of running into the wind, if you will. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Ball 4, it's up and out. So Mario Green, he's on, and here comes Colton Morse. Crawford is out to talk to his pitcher, and Anthony James comes down the third base coach's box to talk to his hitter, who grounded to Tanner Morgan his first time up. And I'm sure the conversation on both ends has to do with a potential bunt and how they'll handle it. But there's always those ongoing arguments as to whether, as you get toward the meat of the order, if you have guys bunt or you let them swing away. But in the Aggies situation, they lost game 1, so they have nothing to lose by trying to chip away a run at a time. The bunt is shown, and the bunt is a beautiful bunt right back to Sibley. He'll go to second for the force out. Nice call by Sibley, who rounded that ball off beautifully and opened up the shoulders towards second, and he had the throw and made it. So it's not a sacrifice bunt. It actually goes as a fielder's choice.
Aggies catcher, Donovan Shaw.
And here's been the guy that's been the Bobcat pain in the neck, which is a compliment when you're talking about Donovan Shows. This guy is a player. He got a hit his first time up. Sibley goes back to the bag, and just like that, Morse is out. He was not paying attention like he should have when you've got a move like Sibley's got. So even the Aggies sleeping just a little bit here. The base is empty and 2 outs. And here comes Shows. Breaking ball drops in there beautifully for strike 1. Sumrall defending here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Another breaking ball. Swing and a miss. Boy, Sibley, command of all of his pitches around the plate. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Another breaking ball. Swung on. Grounder to Barry, who comes to his left. Throws to first and retires the catcher streaking down the line. So no runs, no hits. There was a walk. But we've completed 3. Here in Aggieland, we go to the 4th, and there's no score between Forest County and Sumrall. Tuesday night at the ballpark in Sumrall at Larry Knight Field, when the Hornets come to town, it'll also be senior night, so the seniors will be saluted. Plenty of photo opportunities there, and hope that you will make a note of that and make the most of it. Crawford, Barry, and Morgan coming to the plate here in the top of the 4th inning. as we're just now an hour into this game. And Blake Polk comes out for another inning of work. Of course, the Aggies not near as deep personnel-wise as a lot of other teams in the district. So they've got a much smaller roster. So they don't have as many options at different positions as some of the other teams. And if the season were to end today, the two teams out of the playoffs would be Forest County and Lawrence County. And again, the season were to end today, Purvis would be the 1 seed, Sumrall would be 2. Poplarville 3, I believe, and Greene County 4th. Well, the PA announcer today likes Johnny Cash. A lot of songs by the Man in Black on the PA system today. On a very pleasant afternoon. Overcast and the wind picking up just a little bit. Bobcats looking for some runs here as we are scoreless going to the 4th. Mentioned they didn't get any runs the other night until the 5th. So righty versus lefty.
Catcher Graham Crawford.
The catcher digs in. The first pitch is low. Ball 1. Crawford grounded to second base. His first time up, just his second at bat. In this district contest, the 1-0 pitch. High and away, 2-0. So he can sit dead red fastball here with Zane Berry, who walked his first time up, on deck. Sumrall in the third base dugout. The Aggies over here to our right. That's low, 3-0 now. And it's not that the Bobcats haven't had base runners. They've had a lot of base runners. 5 walks, a hit batsman, and a couple of hits. That's high and away. Ball 4. So Crawford gets a 4-pitch walk. And he will be lifted, no doubt. And Logan Powell will check in for him, the fleet-footed senior outfielder. So Crawford can get the gear on and get ready to get back to work defensively. And here's Zane now. Zane hitting in the 8-hole with Tanner Morgan next. Cody Bickford, the third baseman, anticipating bunt down at third. He's right at the edge of the grass. Down in an athletic position, ready to charge if Barry puts it down. Sidearm pitch is out of the zone, and the Bobcats did not show bunt or steal there, which is normally what a defense would like you to show one way or the other so they can adjust accordingly. But if the bunt was on, Barry did not show it. Throw over to first base and plenty of time. Powell's back in. Wind still blowing out to center field. And I mean briskly. The 1-0 pitch. Fakes the run, and Logan Powell slides back into first base. So 1-1 to Zane Berry. Sumrall trying to get the goose egg off the board here in the top of the 4th. Throw again to first base. And Mr. Cullip is right there, the first base umpire, getting a bird's eye view. Logan Powell getting that hand underneath the throws. See what Barry does here. Another high pitch, another snap throw. Powell back in. 2-1 now the count. And again, Barry did not show bunt, so he either has the green light here or is waiting to get a pitch down in the zone to show it at all. Or he may try to bunt for a hit. We'll see how they play it. 2-1. Runner going this time. Throw to second, and the runner is out. Challenge the arm of FCAHS, and Powell is rung up as he did try to Larry Knight wants to know if there might have been some interference. So discussing it with the home plate umpire, Scott McMurray, but Anthony James also right here by home. And he will want an explanation if the call for whatever reason is changed. But the way it looks like, it's going to be bases empty. And now the umpires are going to huddle here. So while we get the chance, we salute Buffalo Wild Wings at the intersection of Hardy Street and I-59. You can support the home team every time you eat there. When you go to BW3, just let them know that you're from Sumrall High School, and they'll give 10% of the cost of your meal back to the school. They've always got an award-winning lunch menu, and shoot, the appetizers you can almost make a meal out of. Buffalo Wild Wings. Hardy Street and I-59, the favorite place for the home team to eat. So Anthony James wanted to know what the discussion was all about. Meanwhile, Barry's got a 2-2 count. And twice today they have tried to run on Donovan FCAHS, and twice have been unsuccessful. So you see why Meridian gobbled him up. The Eagles and the MACJC. The 2-2 pitch. Strike three. Barry is out on a called third strike. And that is the second out of the inning.
Bobcat shortstop Tanner Morgan.
So bases empty, 2 outs, and here's Tanner Morgan. He struck out looking in his first at bat. 6 strikeouts now. Logged by Blake Polk as that one is fouled out of play to the right. They just look a little lethargic today. Bobcats just not able to get anything going. The 0-1 pitch. That's high, 1-1. Should Morgan reach, then Sumrall will go back to the top of the order, and Dennis Jackson. Bases empty. 2 outs. There's a strike. A ball and 2 strikes now to Tanner Morgan, who will have to defend the plate, anything close. Swung on, and that one is poked out of play to the right. Bobcats have a non-district game tomorrow at this point, but again, that game with West Jones may get postponed. Sidearm, tried to get it in there and run it past him. Missed high, 2-2. The next district contest will be at home in Sumrall on Tuesday against the Hornets. And they are bound to bring the sting. The 2-2. Breaking ball. Morgan, nice job by holding up on that one. They asked for the appeal, but not close. So the count is full now to Morgan with a payoff pitch coming. Sumrall batting in the top of the 4th inning. Base is empty, 2 outs, still no score. Swung on, here's a shot to short. I don't think they'll get him. Morgan to the base, and he beats it out. It'll be an error on Colton Morse because he bobbled it just long enough to give Morgan a couple of extra steps. So the second error logged by the Aggies. And here comes Dennis Jackson to try to keep things going. Jackson has singled and walked. Morgan running for himself here. Sumrall trying to get the zeros off the board, but as we've said before, in game one, they didn't score till the 5th inning. Throw over to first, and Morgan just gets back in time. Pretty decent move by Blake Polk. Morgan slightly average speed, but not a guy that would be a big-time base stealer. Swung on. Here's a drive by Jackson to center field, but right at the center fielder. Waiting on it is Daniel Kelly. He gloves it. And the Bobcats are done in the 4th. No runs, no hits. There was one error and one man left on base. So we go to the bottom of the 4th inning, and it'll be Polk, Garner, and Kelly to face Cross Sibley. The Aggies got their lone run on Tuesday in the 7th inning in a 4-1 Sumrall victory. We want to thank Covington Ridge Retirement Home for their support of Bobcat baseball. 500 square feet of spacious living for your loved one with granite countertops. Those are new. And also an outdoor patio where the residents can socialize and enjoy some of the games that are staged out there. Lots of activities. And right now they have availability. Call Covington, or you can visit CovingtonRidgeRetirement.com. CovingtonRidgeRetirement.com. So the Aggies will try to figure out Cross Sibley. Sibley has struck out 5, while Blake Polk has struck out 6 Bobcats. First pitch from Sibley to the righty is a breaking ball that never got to the plate. The Masters tournament being played this weekend. I think just prior to the game today, 7 different people tied for the lead at some point during the day today. So it doesn't look like Jordan Spieth is going to run away and hide, at least not today anyway. The 1-0 pitch. Strike at the knees, 1-1. Sibley's been pounding the lower part of the zone. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Swung on a little slow chopper. This could be trouble. Sibley's going to have to try to field it. Long throw to first is not in time. That's a base hit for Blake Polk. It wasn't pretty, but it goes as a hit. You really can't rule that an error because he probably would have beat it out anyway. And anything right there at the third baseline, if a left-hander has to field it, he's got to spin all the way around to make that throw. So Polk, the cleanup hitter for Anthony James, is aboard here with no outs. And here's Jason Garner. And you can bet the mortgage that Sumrall's thinking bunt here. That pitch is low. Nice job by Crawford to keep the ball in play. So Barrett will be creeping at third. If he has a play at second, he'll take it. But if not, they'll take the out. The last thing you want to do is give up the base and the out. There's an attempted bunt foul tip strike. Garner struck out his first time up. That was back in the 1st inning. 1 of 5 Sibley strikeout victims. Aggies batting in the bottom of the 4th. Swing and a miss. So the bunt was off that time. Now if he were to go back to the bunt and miss, he'd be out. So they must have trust in Garner's ability to make contact with Sibley. That's off the plate. 2-2 now. with Daniel Kelly, the center fielder, on deck. Daniel Kelly made the last out, taking a hit away from Dennis Jackson. Swing and a miss. Strike through. It's a check swing, but he went through the zone. So that's a strikeout. And now Sibley has 6 strikeouts.
The batter is Aggie center fielder Daniel Kelly.
Daniel Kelly struck out looking in the second. I think I would have back over to first base. I think I would have attempted the bunt with even the second strike, but that's why there is no right or wrong answer. Kelly followed by Riles. Riles is on deck. We're scoreless here in the bottom of the 4th between the Bobcats and the Aggies in beautiful Brooklyn. I love this country setting out here, and I've been at games where literally the cows would come up to the fence and put their heads over the fence, and you'd have to stop them and shoo them away, or at least ask them for their ticket. One of the two. Sibley over to first base. Runner back in time. I would not think, particularly with Crawford's prowess behind the plate, and in a 0-0 game, that the Aggies would be in any big hurry to try to steal a base. 1 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the 4th. Kelly hitting 6th in the order. The pitch. There's a fastball. That looked good from here, and it was 1-2. I think. Scoreboard sometimes is a little bit behind. Breaking ball, that gets down. Crawford blocks it. Actually 2-1 instead of 1-2. So 2-1 to number 21, Daniel Kelly. Sibley checks the runner at first. He's gone over there a couple times. Long hold here, and he'll go to the plate. Fastball on the corner. That evens it out at 2-2 now. Looking ahead to the Bobcat 5th, it'll be Barrett, Story, and Robbins, hitters 2, 3, and 4. The Aggies have been tough this week. 2-2 pitch is high and outside, 3-2. We mentioned that Sibley has struck out 6. He has walked 2. And has given up just 2 hits. Fastball right down the tube, and Daniel Kelly knew it. He's down on strikes. Sibley's 7th strikeout.
Batting for the Aggies, first baseman Wade Riles.
So 2 away now. And they'll get a runner in for Polk, the pitcher, so that he can get ready to come out and work the 5th.
Pinch runner at first base, number 22.
First pitch from Sibley is a strike right down the middle. Riles walked his first time and then was stranded at first base. Aggies batting in the bottom of the 4th inning. We are still scoreless in this District 7 4A battle. Pitch to the plate, swing and a miss. Exact same pitch. Riles tried to pull it and missed it as the wind continues to blow out toward center field, or maybe just a shade toward right. Melinda and Hank Lott are watching the ball game today. Always glad to have them with us. The Lotts, big supporters of Sumrall baseball. Hank and Melinda, thank you for everything you do. Bobcats kind of spinning their tires today. So far, pitch to the plate. Foul tip, but he caught it. Strike 3, it's another strikeout for Sibley, his 8th.
One runner left on base.
So what a day Cross Sibley is having. We mentioned that Hank and Melinda Lott just phoned in, and because they texted in, I now have their cell number, and I know how to get a hold of Hank and Melinda Lott. That's kind of like the bat phone number. You know, I'm sure there are a lot of people that would like to have that number. But I promise I won't give it to just anyone, Hank and Melinda. We go to the 5th. Again, Barrett, Story, and Robbins hitter 2, 3, and 4 to face Blake Polk, who has been tough on the Bobcats today, striking out 6 in all. And it might only take a run or two in order to win it, but so far neither team has been able to figure the other one out. And we hope that here in the 5th inning, which is where Sumrall got it together on Tuesday, they can get something going here. Termite control specialists are supporters of Sumrall baseball. They've been in the Pine Belt for 55 years, and although they specialize in termites, they also offer pest services as well, including termite services for pre-treatments and new construction. Give them a call at 261-5200, 261-5200. So here's Barrett. He has walked and lined out to the first baseman. First pitch swinging and lifted out of play over here to our right. So jumped on the first pitch fastball. Blake Polk hitting in the cleanup spot and pitching for the Aggies and doing a great job here. And so far, second pitch. That splits the plate for strike 2. So 0-2 to the leadoff hitter for Sumrall. That pitch is high. And you'd think, well, it wouldn't kill Sumrall to lose this game. Well, to win the district, it would. True, you'd have to get Lawrence County to perhaps beat Purvis or Poplarville. And there's a called strike 3. Barrett is out on strikes. One away, the 7th strikeout.
Bobcat first baseman Mason Story.
For Blake Polk. But you'd have to get Poplarville to either beat Purvis at Poplarville tonight, and then get Lawrence County to beat Purvis once next week, which you wouldn't think is too likely. But if you're not able to get this one, that pretty much does cement the district championship for Purvis. So Mason Story up to bat now. Second pitch is away. See what the big first baseman's been up to. He got hit by a pitch and singled. 2-0 the count. So Story's got a fastball count here. Oh, and it hit him in the helmet, right at just below the ear hole. It might have got him in the back of the head, just below the ear, maybe part of the ear hole and part of the head. Golly, thank goodness for helmets. So, man, the game. If you're playing the game of Plunko, Mason Story would be the champion today. He's been hit by 2 pitches. And here's Robbins with that wind now that is shifted, blowing out toward left. Calling it right here. Robinson's going to go deep right here. I've seen the script. You're going to love it. First pitch to him. In there for a strike. Billy Garrity on deck has been the recipient of a couple of walks today. Sumrall batting in the top of the 5th inning. Runner on first, 1 out. No score between the Aggies and the Bobcats. Swung on. That one is fouled to the right side. So 0-2 to G. Blake Polk wants some fresh leather there. Pitchers get really funny about the feel of a baseball, particularly about the laces. Some of them like the laces raised a little bit. Some of them like the laces flushed. 0-2 pitch to Robbins. Off the plate, 1-2. Sumrall batting here in the top of the fifth, trying to sweep this series against the Aggies. The young Aggies. Inside, 2-2 now. That pitch nearly hit Robbins. He kind of had a jerk reaction in off the plate. So Blake Polk checks the runner at first base. And the 2-2 delivery. High, 3-2. Big pitch coming up here because you've got a righty-righty matchup. You got a righty-lefty with Garrity coming up next. And runners would be on first and second. But let's not put the cart ahead of the horse here. The 3-2 pitch coming up to Robbins. He has struck out twice today. Swing and a miss. Down he goes for a third time. 2 outs.
Bobcats right fielder, Billy Garrity.
8th strikeout of the day for Blake Polk. And here's Garrity. Billy's been on both times, but really hasn't seen much to hit. First pitch to him is high and away. Again, Scott McMurray behind the plate. David Cullip at first base. Ben Stewart, the other umpire. Breaking ball, off speed, in there. Nice pitch. 1-1 now to Garrity. Garrity hitting in the 5-hole. Cross Sibley is on deck. Boy, we got a pitcher's duel going here. That's low and outside. 2-1 now to Garrity as the clouds begin to get just a little bit darker. And of course, we got all this computer equipment and all the electricity and rain are generally not a good combination. Ben Franklin proved that to us. 2-1 pitch. Misses. 3-1 now. Boy, any kind of hit here for Sumrall. Dennis Jackson had an infield single in the first. There's a foul out of play. And Mason Story had a single in the third. So Sumrall's only got 2 hits, but they've had plenty of base runners. Meanwhile, the Aggies only have 2 hits. So a total of 4 hits in the game and no score. Which is outside, ball 4, and Garrity knew it as he dispensed the bat. His 3rd walk of the game. Story advances to second.
Batting for the Bobcats, pitcher, Cross Sibley.
And now Sibley looking to up his record to 6-0 on the year. Pickoff play at second base. Story back in ample time. Hubfest scheduled for tomorrow in downtown Hattiesburg. They've pushed back the starting time to 11 o'clock in the morning because of weather. First pitch to Sibley is high, ball 1. If you were going to try to get Jimmy Buffett tickets for April 26th, you're too late. In fact, if you logged on 5 minutes late this morning, you were too late. Sold out in 4 minutes. Here's a called strike to Sibley. Mason Story's at second, Billy Garrity's at first, and now Anthony James has called timeout. And he will shuffle out to the mound to talk to his pitcher. This is a good ball game. I know one of the things that if you could talk to Larry Knight right now, he'd say one of the things that's driving him nuts is that they've had plenty of base runners, just have not come up with a clutch hit, and have had a couple of base running mistakes, which they'd like to erase, I'm sure. Graham Crawford Over here to our left, talking to the younger Sibley and telling Sibley, look, get on base because I want to come back up. Guys all love to hit, don't they? So 1-1 the count to Sibley with runners on first and second. The pitch. Swung on. Here's a drive to left center field, but going back toward the fence and making the grab on the run to his right is the center fielder, Daniel Kelly.
And 2 left on base.
So nothing doing for Sumrall in the 5th inning. No runs, no hits. There was a walk, a hit batsman, and 2 men left. So we go to the bottom of the 5th here in Brooklyn. We are still scoreless. The Aggies and the Bobcats. Forest Funeral Home. It's a place to keep in mind when you really don't want to have to keep that in mind. We all know what we're talking about, but if you want to take away the burden from your family members having to make decisions for you, all that can be done ahead of time. And the pros at Forest Funeral Home can talk you through that process. And you can also pay ahead so that when that time comes, it can be as stress-free as possible. Forest Funeral Home here to assist you. Give them a call at 264-1816. That's 264-1816. So it'll be Alec Adams, Cody Bickford, and Mario Green. Those will be the Aggie offerings in the bottom of the 5th inning, as we are still scoreless. Both teams only scratching out 2 hits. Blake Polk has the only extra base hit. So lefty versus righty here.
Alec Adams.
Again, Landon James was scheduled to start this game. For some reason, did not. And Alec Adams in there for him. Big, tall, left-handed hitter. Swing and a miss at the first pitch from Sibley. Bottom of the 5th inning. So it's Adams, Bickford, and Green, 8, 9, and 1. And that's exactly the part of the order that Sumrall will send up in the next inning, as there's a called strike at the knees. 0-2 now. Sibley ahead in the count to Alec Adams, the Aggie left fielder. Base is empty here in the bottom of the 5th inning. The 0-2 pitch. Swung on, got a piece of it and put it into the net. Some of the high schools across the state were originally chartered as agricultural high schools, where they've actually taught agriculture, and we mentioned maintained. Swung on. This one is popped and will get out of play. Crawford will come over and give it a sniff, but it'll get out of play. Where full-time dormitories were open, including cafeterias and the whole bit. I think Itawamba County has an agricultural high school that is still active. Actually, South Panola was originally licensed as an agricultural school. Next pitch from Sibley misses. 2-2 now. And the difference between those, the difference of an agricultural high school and a regular public high school is they could legally recruit players back in the day. Breaking ball hits him, and Adams is on first base. A breaking ball that was short. Got him on the ankle. And here's Cody Bickford.
Batting for the Aggies, third baseman, Cody Bickford.
Hey, man, if you go to Baseball 101, this has got to be a bunt. He got an 8th grader getting an opportunity to start here, and he's done really well. But strategically, you're in a situation where a bunt is called for, and don't think Hunter Barrett doesn't know it because he's in on the grass at third. Bunt is shown, but then pulled away. Snap throw back to second. Runner is back in time. Crawford wanted to throw, but Story was on the charge, looking for the bunt, and Zane Berry came in behind the runner and almost slapped the tag on Alec Adams. It was ball one because he did not offer at a pitch that was out of the zone. Showed bunt, but then pulled the bat back. Barrett not only looking over to the Sumrall dugout, but looking at Anthony James too at third, thinking what signal might. Bunt is shown. It's low again. It's low. Crawford actually tried to talk Alec Adams into stealing second base by kind of looking behind him as if the ball got away. And if Adams bit on the decoy, then Crawford could throw him out at second. But 2-0 is the count now to Bickford, with the leadoff hitter Mario Green up next. Bunt is shown, and it's a beautiful bunt, but foul. And Crawford did a great job to kill it just as it got over the line. So Bickford will come back to work. Barrett still in on the grass. Beautifully manicured field here at Forest County AHS. You'd think they would know a little bit about turf maintenance. Anthony James now talking to his 8th grade third baseman. Adams, who was hit by a pitch, is down there at first base with no outs. Here in the 5th, the ball strike count is 2-1. So we'll see how the Bobcats do the pitch count. Uh-oh, look out. They've got him in a rundown again between first and second. Another good move by Sibley, and he is out at first base. The Bobcats executed perfectly. So now the bunt doesn't matter. Base running mistakes really by both teams today. So Bickford now will get the green light to swing away with a 2-1 count. Swing and a miss. Went after the inside corner strike. So that certainly changes the complexion of things here, as the defenders from Sumrall trying to keep the Aggies off the board in this scoreless contest. Swing and a miss. He struck him out for the second time today. That is the 9th strikeout.
Second baseman Mario Green.
9th strikeout of the day recorded by Sibley, and here's Mario Green, who was one of those strikeout victims in the first. He walked in the third and wound up being thrown out at second. First pitch to him, swing and a miss. Fastball with a little late movement started out over the middle of the plate and worked its way in. Should Green reach, then Colton Morse would follow him. The 0-1 pitch had Green leaning, but not far enough. 1-1. Crawford, Berry, and Morgan will go to the plate for Sumrall in the top of the 6th. Aggies working here with 2 outs and bases empty in the 5th, still scoreless. Attempted at the bunt, but missed it. It'll go as a strike 2. Neither team has been able to take advantage of this strong wind out toward center and right. The 1-2 pitch from Sibley to Green. High, 2-2. Green, your prototype leadoff hitter. Good contact, fast, handles the bat well, smart. The 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out.
For the Yankees,
Sibley's
no
10th
runs, no
strikeout.
scores. No one left on base.
10 strikeouts for Cross Sibley. So we go to the 6th inning. Hitters 7, 8, and 9 will come to bat for Sumrall. And which of these teams are going to blink first? So far, neither team has. And coming back out is Blake Polk to try to shut the Bobcats down in the 6th. Still 0-0 between these teams. Columbia Medical Supply, we appreciate their support of Sumrall Bobcat Athletics. A lot of the insurance that you need for your medical supplies are accepted, and they'll be able to sort through all that with you and file any claims with you, whether it's hospital beds, any equipment for home health. They've got it all for you, and most of it is available in the store, but if not, then they'll order it for you and you can pick it up. On the 98 bypass in Columbia, Columbia Medical Supply, proud to support Sumrall Bobcat baseball. So far, if you're just tuning in, you haven't missed any scoring. Sully Clark's grandparents and aunt are tuned in from
Leading off for
Pennsylvania.
catcher.
We certainly want to give them a shout out. And I know that being in Pennsylvania, the weather up there is really nasty. Snow and all sorts of winter stuff that just won't seem to go away. First pitch is outside, ball 1. So we hope that Sully's relatives in Pennsylvania will stay warm, and hopefully there will be some good news from the ballpark here. 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Blake Polk's been a gamer now. He's not only pitched well, but he's got 2 of the 3 Aggie hits today. The 1-1. Swung on. Here's a drive out towards center field. But again, coming in to make the play on the run is the center fielder, Daniel Kelly. So 1 up and 1 down. It didn't look like,
Bobcat second baseman.
it didn't
Zane
sound
Berry.
like he really barreled that up as much as he would have liked. And here's Zane Berry now. He's walked and struck out. He's officially 0 for 1. Talked about Sully Clark, a shortstop, can play other positions as well. A Sumrall legacy. His brother Sam also wore the blue and gold. I think Sam was probably class of 2014 maybe. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Outside and high, 2-0 now. Berry would be a good base runner to have because of his speed and quickness. Here's the 2-0. Shows bunt, but then pulls back on a pitch that's inside, 3-0. Earlier today, though, Berry was on and did get thrown out at second base by that cannon arm of Donovan Shows of the Aggies. Shows is 2 for 2 today on throwouts. 3-0 pitch. That's in there. For a 3-1 count now. Top of the 6th inning, Sumrall batting, bases empty, 1 out. They just have not been able to figure out Blake Polk. 2 hits on the day. Breaking ball is high, ball 4. That has been the problem today for Polk.
Shortstop
6
Bobcat,
walks
Tanner Morgan.
and 2 hit by pitches. So 8 free bases, but Sumrall's not been able to cash in. Here's Tanner Morgan. He's struck out and reached on an error. Morgan swinging right back to the pitcher. Flips to second for 1. Over to first. Gets underneath the glove. And Morgan will stay at first base. It caromed off of the fence and right to Donovan Shows, the catcher, who alertly was backing that up.
Jackson.
So 2 outs. Runner at first base, and here's Dennis Jackson working on a 1 for 2 day with a single and a walk. Jackson creeping that average up right around the 300 mark. A lot of people, of course, know Dennis for his football ability, but he's a pretty doggone good center fielder, too. Throw over to first, runner back in time. Just when you think that Bobcats might be cooking a little something, the pilot light goes out. Pitch to Jackson, swung on ground ball to short. Flip to second base for the force out. Nice play by the shortstop, Colton Morse, to keep his wits about him and flip it to Mario Green.
One left on base.
So nothing across again for Sumrall. So in the sixth, no runs, no hits, no errors, one man officially left on base. So again, looking at the hits for Sumrall, Jackson, the very first hitter of the game, had an infield hit, and Mason Story had a fence rattler, but that's been it. Other than a bunch of walks and a couple of hit batsmen. So we go to the bottom of the sixth inning. The Aggies will send up hitters 2, 3, and 4 against Sibley. Sibley working a lot harder for win number 6 than he probably thought he was going to have to. But the old adage that on any given day. And the Bobcats to me today, they just kind of look like they're sleepwalking through it. And it happens. I mean, it happens in the big leagues. But for all practical purposes, to have any chance at winning the district, they need this game. So Colton Morris will dig in here in the bottom of the sixth. He is grounded to short and reached on a fielder's choice. Kelly Sander along with producer engineer Jeremy Thompson on a very pleasant
Leading off for the Aggies,
Friday afternoon in Aggie land.
Colton Morse.
So I'm just guessing, Jeremy, that you did not go to the Sir Mix-a-Lot concert last night. No. Did you get your Jimmy Buffett tickets?
No.
You didn't get yours either, huh?
No, I didn't.
Like I said, if you weren't online for the first 4 minutes, you weren't going to get any. Here's first pitch to Morris is high and outside. Of course, you've got people on social media now complaining that people bought them and put them right back up on eBay for $2,000 or, whatever.
If people buy them.
I know, but you hate that. You'd like people that buy tickets that want to go see it. Flipped into the net on a foul ball. 1-1 now. Sibley working to Colton Morse. And the always dangerous Donnie Shows on deck, the prolific catcher for the Aggies. The 1-1 pitch from Sibley. Breaking ball misses. 2-1. Morse really made a good play defensively in the bottom of that last inning as he swings this one and pops it up to the infield. Sibley and Mason Story will get underneath it, and Story will wave the pitcher off for out number 1. Yeah, the last thing you wanted to see there was the two of them look at each other and have the ball drop between them. And we've talked about on our webcasts before that generally you want the pitcher to be involved in as few fielding plays as possible. And here is Shows. That was a big out that the Rawcats got just there because you don't want runners coming up with Shows up to bat. And he swings and misses at the first pitch. He has singled and grounded to second, but has hit the ball hard both times. As the Cattle begin to work their way toward the fence in right field. The 0-1 pitch. Breaking ball and a beauty in there for strike 2. Dennis Jackson plays Shows toward right field a little bit. Sibley gets the signal. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Another breaking ball. This one is lifted toward left. Javen Williams coming in to make the grab for out number 2. And, you know, Javen's been out there all game. Really hasn't seen much action. And I know what he was saying when he saw that one coming to him. Uh-oh.
Batting for AHS is pitcher Blake Polk.
But he was certainly equal to the task there. And here's Holt now, who has 2 of the Aggies' 4 hits. Swung on it. That's pulled over here to the left side. I don't know if it'll stay in play or not. Over by the dugout, it is Hunter Barrett making a great grab along the fence. Nice play by Barrett in foul territory. So 3 up and 3 down. No runs, no hits, no errors. We're going to the 7th, and I'd say last chance 7th, but neither team has scored. Sumrall will send up Barrett, Story, and Robbins. Against Blake Polk, who comes out for another inning's work. Again, we're only about an hour and 50 into this game. The game on Tuesday night, I don't even think made 2 hours, or right, maybe 1:56 or something like that. It was a 4-1 score, low-scoring affair. Kind of talked about the cattle out there in right field. I was raised around dairy cows when I was a kid up in Iowa growing up. And when the cows were milked in the morning, they would always, you'd let them out, they'd always go to the far side of the field. And as the day would wear on, they would work their way back to the barn. So if you weren't wearing a watch, just by knowing where the cows were in the field, you could, yeah, you pretty much could guess. And if they were beating that door down, you knew it was 5:30. So I salute America's farmers, man, because there's no such thing as a holiday or a day off. Those cows don't know it's Christmas or Thanksgiving.
Leading off for Sumrall is third baseman Hunter Barrett.
Here's Hunter Barrett. He has walked, lined to the first baseman, and struck out. Boy, 1 run might do it. See if the Bobcats can come up with it here. First pitch to Barrett is a fastball off the plate, ball 1. What a job Blake Polk has done. Cross Sibley has struck out 10 hitters. There's a strike. Blake Polk has struck out 8 Bobcats. But now he's also walked 6 and beaned 2. But still, no runs. There's a hot shot towards second base. Mario Green with the flip to first. And the first out.
Bobcat first baseman Mason Story.
So Mason Story has 1 of the 2 Sumrall hits today. See if he can't get under one here. And put it over the center field wall. First pitch to him. Fastball outside. That one got out of the edge of the catcher's mitt. Story awaits the 1-0 pitch here in the top of the 7th. That's low, 2-0 now. So Story's got a fastball count here, also known as a hitter's count. So another baseball will be given to the pitcher Blake Polk, where again it's a shame that either of these pitchers would have to take a loss. They've both pitched well today. The 2-0 pitch. There's a strike, and this is a high fly ball to left field. Alec Adams out there and makes the catch. About 2 steps from the fence. Alec Adams puts it away. So Story had a
The batter,
notion.
Bobcat designated hitter Garrett Robbins.
But couldn't come up with it. So here's Robbins, who would, at this point, kind of forget today, although every at-bat is a new day. First pitch to him as the sun comes out. Off-speed pitch off the plate, ball one. Robbins, the cleanup hitter, hitting for Javen Williams. Billy Garrity on deck. So you got some major power at the plate here, but that wind still blowing out towards center. That's low. 2-0 to Garrett Robbins. No score. Sumrall batting in the top of the 7th. Swung on. There's a high. I mean, this is a towering fly ball to right field. And right there to put it away
For the Bobcats, no runs.
is the right fielder, Jason Garner.
And no one left on base. Time now for the
So,
seventh stretch here
That's it
at Forest
for
FCAHS.
the Bobcats. Through 7 innings. No runs on no hits. So through regulation, Sumrall has only been able to muster 2 hits. And the Aggies will send Garner, Kelly, and Riles to the plate to face Cross Sibley. And the Aggies have got to be thinking, man, this is the 7th. If we can scratch one home here, Bobcats don't get another at bat. And of course, Sumrall fans are hoping that the Bobcats have another good defensive inning in them so that this game will be sent into extras. Sumrall will have to go extras to get the W today, as we're still not 2 hours old. About an hour and 55 minutes so far. So where are the Aggies in the order, you ask? Well, 5, 6, and 7. And Sibley has handcuffed the Aggies with 10 strikeouts. And Garner, who's leading off the inning right here, is 0 for 2 with a couple of those strikeouts.
Leading off for the
So we'll
Aggies,
see here.
right fielder Jason Garner.
So Blake Polk has gone 7 scoreless innings. Sibley hoping to do the same. First pitch is low, ball 1. No room for error here, literally and figuratively. 1-0 pitch. Outside, 2-0. So I would think if you're playing strategy here, he's on the take until he gets a strike. Sibley has not fallen behind hardly anybody all day. That's low, 3-0. So Sibley will have to regroup here because you know if the Aggies get their leadoff man aboard, they will go to the bunt. Even though Daniel Kelly in the 6 hole, pretty decent with the bat. That's high and outside, a 4-pitch walk to Garner. And Larry Knight will have a chat, not only with Sibley, but with his catcher, Graham Crawford. Coach Gatt hustling over here across home plate, along with Anthony James. All these coaches and players know each other, of course, and are good friends. Lots of times the fan bases don't behave like they should. Not in this series I'm talking about, but in baseball in general. So Crawford directing traffic behind the plate here as to how the Rawcats are going to play this bunt. Because you could bet the mortgage, I'm telling you. that they're going to try to put this bunt down. Now, Sumrall's hoping for a pop-up bunt. Barrett in on the grass at third, almost challenging Kelly to put it down. Pitch is low. Sibley has now pitched 5 straight pitches out of the zone. So if Kelly doesn't get a bunt to hit, or a pitch to bunt, either way you want to term it, he'll sit there with the bat on the shoulder. The 1-0 pitch from Sibley fouled the bunt back into the screen. The bat head was actually pointed down there, and when the bat head is down, the ball tends to foul off. Proper bunting technique, you'd want to keep the bat head up and at an angle so that the ball would go toward the ground. So big play here by the Sumrall defense. There's another attempted bunt. That goes foul. So now he'll have to swing away. So look for Sibley to strike him out here. He's already done it twice. 2-2 the count to Daniel Kelly. Swing and a miss. He did it. Sibley with his 11th strikeout. Boy, you have... And I know I'm a Sumrall guy, but you got to get the bunt down.
First baseman, Wade Riles.
Here's Wade Riles. He has walked and struck out, so he's officially 0 for 1. Aggies batting in the bottom of the 7th inning. Runner on first, 1 out, throw over to first base. Runner back in time. The Aggies have been rung up a couple times today on the bases. The runner's biting on that great move of Sibley. Pitch to the plate. An attempted bunt. I think the Aggies might work on bunting in practice. He missed it, so 0-1. Anthony James playing just to get somebody to second where a base hit could potentially score that winning run. Throw back over to first again. That is Jason Garner, the right fielder over there. And he has seen how 2 of his teammates have been victimized by Sibley over there, so he'll stay close to the bag. There's the bunt. Sibley's got it. He will go to first base with it. And on to second base goes Garner. So he's at second with 2 outs. Sacrifice bunt works.
The batter is left fielder, Alex.
2 outs. And it's up to Alec Adams. The advantage of there being 2 outs here is that Garner will run on anything and not have to worry about running into a double play. Any kind of base hit, Anthony James will wave that runner around second and take his chance with the Sumrall defense making a play. 2 outs here on the bottom of the 7th. No score. The Aggies and the Bobcats deadlocked here. Swing and a miss. A beautiful bender that Sibley pulled the string on. Looking ahead to the Sumrall 8th, it would be Garrity, Sibley, and Crawford. Big out here for the Bobcats. There are 2 away in the bottom of the 7th. Another breaking ball and another strike. So Sibley ahead in the count, 0-2. Sibley has punched out 11 Aggie hitters today. But the Aggies with a chance to win it here in the bottom of the 7th. Big pitch coming. Breaking ball. Strike 3. Down he goes. Adams never swung the bat. The 12th strikeout. And we are going extra innings again. So we're going to the 8th. as the rock band Kiss comes onto the speakers here in Aggie Land. Blake Polk comes out for his 8th inning of work. So I think according to the rules, he probably won't be able to be used until May 1st. No, I don't know what the rules are with number of pitches, and after a certain number of pitches, you have to come out, regardless of how many innings you've logged.
It's 25 1 day, 50 2 days, 75 3 days.
Well, he's going to be out for a while, but I think, is it 120 you have to come out? Or
125.
Okay. So here's big-time Billy. Be nice to have a big-time hit right here.
Leading off for Sumrall, right fielder, Billy Garrity.
Billy has walked 3 times. But they'd even take that at this point, just to get a base runner. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Because the way Sibley has pitched, 1 run statistically would probably win it for you. Second pitch is in there. So Blake Polk has done a terrific job keeping the Bobcats at bay. With still just 2 hits. Tried to frame it, did Shows, but it was outside, 2-1. Sumrall batting in the top of the 8th inning. Still no score. It's unusual that you look at a scorebook and don't see any runs. That's outside, 3-1. But I don't think Garrity'd be on the take. If it's there, I think he's going to hit it. Strike 2. Now, anything close, you've got to protect. Sumrall batting in the 8th. Swung on. Here's a high fly ball. It's up in the air, but Adams in left is there to put it away for the first out. So Garrity's out. And here comes Sibley now.
His pitcher, Cross Sibley.
And that's going to do it. And what a performance! Because I think he's at the point now where he's got to come out of the game with his pitch count wise. And that's it. What a performance! What a performance by Blake Polk. And even the Sumrall fans are applauding him because they know how good you have to pitch to shut down this bunch. So, who does Anthony James go to? Doesn't really look like there's anybody obvious as a few drops of rain begin to fall now. Kind of moving in here from behind us. And look out, here it comes. As we'll have to, this is going to change our view of everything now, of course, because electricity and rain are not a good combo. And is it Donnie Shows, the catcher? I'm trying to multitask, which us men usually don't do very well. And it is Donovan Shows, the catcher. Boy, you go from catching 8 innings
to pitching.
To come in and pitching. Is that the case? Is that? Hang on here. I closed my book because it was getting wet. All of my ink now beginning to spread. It is FCAHS, the catcher. So I'm not going to have access to as many notes as I normally would have because the ink spreading on all of it. And our feed is now audio only, right?
Yeah, I'll just turn the camera on.
Yeah. So you can still hear us, we hope. And FCAHS, you know, you'd say you should give him some warm-up tosses, but he's been catching the whole game, so his arm certainly, that would only give him extra wear and tear. Sumrall batting in the top of the 8th inning. 7 innings of scoreless ball.
Your attention, please. Now pitching for Forest County AHS. Number 12, Donovan FCAHS. New catcher, number 9, Blake Polk.
So Blake Polk, who just pitched so beautifully, goes behind the plate. So he and FCAHS just flip-flop. And we talked about Anthony James of Forest County, not a real deep bench. So you got to use a lot of the same cards and just reshuffle the deck every once in a while. And that's what he's forced to do here. Sibley would be the first man that he faces, and then Crawford after him. People that have not opened up their umbrellas are putting on their hooded attire, you know, sweatshirts or rain jackets, what have you. Now, I don't expect, in fact, it's probably stopped now, but I don't expect this little passing shower to stick around long.
Problem is, it's all that's left. A bunch of little patches.
Until later on tonight when it will become more consistent.
The batter is pitcher Cross Sibley.
In fact, I think for the time being there might be another drop here or there, but again, you understand we have to protect the camera from any rain and keep it under the protection of an umbrella, so we'll just radio broadcast it from here. And FCAHS' first pitch is a fastball into Sibley for a strike on the outside part of the plate. Sumrall batting with bases empty and 1 out here in the top of the 8th inning. FCAHS again rears back, another fastball that's up in the zone, and Sibley fouls it off. So 0-2 now. The Aggies and the Bobcats. FCAHS' 0-2 pitch. Swung on, and this one fouled into the net. He's just challenged him with heat so far. Dark clouds off to our left. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Sibley down on strikes, and he's tagged at the plate rather than run to first. So bases empty, 2 outs. And here comes Crawford now. This is the 8th inning. Sumrall has only put up 2 hits on the board. But the Bobcat pitching has been superb, and Cross Sibley. Breaking ball, strike as Donovan FCAHS blazes it in there. FCAHS he's one of those guys that you could describe as country strong. I mean, he caught the whole game, and now here he is out there on the pitcher's mound and chunking strikes in there. That pitch is low. A ball and a strike to Crawford. Wind still blowing straight out to center field if he can just get one up in the air. Off speed, low again, 2-1 to Crawford. Bases empty, 2 outs here in the top of the 8th. You know the Aggies are going to hit one way or the other. And they're going to be hitters 9, 1, and 2. High and in. So 3-1 to Crawford with Zane Berry on deck. The 3-1 pitch from Shows. Strike at the knees. Now Crawford tossed the bat to the dugout thinking it was ball 4, but from where I was sitting, it was a knee-high fastball. So the count fills at 3-2. Shows like a cat ready to pounce. He's got the baseball and ready to get to work. Here it comes, 3-2. Foul tip and caught by the catcher.
For the Bobcats, no runs on no hits, no errors.
So
One left on base.
Bobcats up and down 1-2-3 in the 8th. Still no runs across. And Larry Knight has gone to the bullpen, and Grant Reddy has come in. So Cross Sibley's day is done. Cross Sibley cannot win this game. What a funny game this is. A funny game, but a crying shame that he can't. As well as he pitched, he gave up no runs, so that 0.48 earned run average is even going to go lower. He gave up 3 hits. He struck out 12. Walked 2 and hit a batter. Another great day for Cross Sibley. So Grant Reddy comes in. Reddy with a win-loss record of 3-2 and a 5.67 earned run average. Right-handed sidewinder. We did get a little rain just a few minutes ago. If you're just joining us, our broadcast has gone to audio only. Get the camera out of the rain. The rain has stopped, but it is noticeably cooler here. And we've got rain off to our left. And under normal circumstances, you need to be right at the end of the game here, but Sumrall fans certainly hoping that they go another inning. So here's Bickford. First pitch is low, ball 1. Bickford has struck out twice, but those were both against Sibley. Mario Green on deck. He'll be followed by Clinton Morse. Another pitch that's low, 2-0. If you're going to miss, that's where you want to miss, is low. But that one's there, and Bickford tries to attack it and missed it on the inside of the plate. 2-1. Aggies batting in the bottom of the 8th inning in this scoreless tie. Grant Reddy on in relief of Cross Sibley, the 2-1 pitch. Swung on is a slow chopper towards second base. Barry will have to wait for it. He does get it, but then flips it over to first for the easy out. So Bickford is retired.
Top of the order for the Aggies, second baseman Mario Green.
So here's Mario Green. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. First pitch from Reddy from the full windup is a fastball strike. Just nibbled the edge of the plate on the outer part. Reddy working quickly, breaking ball, little chopper right back to Reddy, who fielded the ball behind his back. What a play by Grant Reddy. He never saw what he fielded.
Hey, where's the picture of that one?
Shortstop for the Aggies.
Never saw what he fielded. But what a play. 2 up and 2 down. And here's Colton Morse. This game reeks of a 9th inning. First pitch by Reddy. Swing and a miss. The Aggies only scored 1 run on Tuesday night. They haven't yet obviously gotten one across here this afternoon. So the Sumrall pitching has been superb. Swung on and popped out of play to the right. So 0-2. And Grant Reddy wants a different baseball. Talked about how finicky pitchers are lots of times, about the feel of the rawhide. So he put that one back and wants it back. So here's the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, again fouled, out of play. This one will hit the roof of their batting facility off here to the right. Colton Morse hitting in the 2-hole for Coach Anthony James here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Bases empty and 2 outs. Ready with the sign. Here's the 0-2. Breaking ball. There's a grounder to third. Barrett has this one. And per usual, a chest-high strike right across the diamond. And Morris is out. So they go up and down in order. No runs, no hits, no errors. We are going to the 9th inning. So a little extra baseball today for you. As the clouds begin to look a little bit more ominous. And Donovan, a.k.a. Donnie Shows, back out on the mound for the Aggies, and he will face Zane Berry, Tanner Morgan, and Dennis Jackson. Here in the 9th. Both teams battling for this Friday afternoon win. I mentioned Donovan Shows, one of the few seniors on this Forest County team. In fact, most of the talent covered is 8th and 9th graders. So the Aggies are going to have some growing pains, but if they can sit on some of this talent, they'll be heard from in the future. So here's Zane to lead it off. He walked in the 2nd, struck out in the 6th, and walked, or in the 4th. He walked in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th, walked in the 6th. So he's officially 0 for 1. First pitch from Shows is a fastball strike. Shows has been getting ahead with the heater and then trying to mix up the speeds a little bit. 0-1 pitch. Fastball, laced foul. That one, too, hits the roof of the batting cage over to the right. And that one skidded and then got over the other side. So 0-2 to Berry. The leadoff hitter here in the 9th inning against the Aggies. Swung on, and this one's fouled. Got a couple of veterans getting after it here. In Brooklyn, not far from the 49 highway, about 3 miles or so. The 0-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Lost the baseball. Berry's hustling down to first, and it's a throw that hits Berry. And now the home plate umpire is saying that he's calling interference. The home plate umpire is calling Berry out. He has called him out. So Berry,
the batter is shortstop Tanner Morgan,
is called out, and Larry Knight got an explanation and didn't put up much of a protest. But here's Tanner Morgan, and he looks at the first pitch high. Morgan has struck out, reached on an error, and reached on a fielder's choice. So the last 2 times he's put the ball in play. Base is empty, 1 out here in the 9th, and there's a strike. So 1-1 to Tanner Morgan. Donnie Shows gets the sign for the Aggies, and boy, he works quickly. Now Larry Knight is pointing toward the sky. I don't know if he saw some lightning. I didn't, and I don't know that that's what he's pointing to the sky for. 1-1 the count to Morgan. Swung on, foul ball, right side. So 1-2 the count. Donovan Show's on in relief of Blake Polk. Polk is catching for the Aggies now. Those two just flip-flopped. Boy, those arms will need some attention tonight. The 1-2 pitch to Tanner Morgan. Down in the dirt. That one got both the catcher and the umpire. So 2-2 the count. With the Bobcats batting here in the top of the 9th inning. There are only 2 hits that they've logged. Were in the first and the 3rd innings. They haven't had a hit since. Swung on, foul again. They're going through some baseballs today here. Love to be able to go through a baseball for Sumrall, pick one up in center field out by the goat herds. The 1-2 pitch to Morgan. And that hit him.
Top of the order for the Bobcats, center fielder Dennis Jackson.
So here's Jackson now. Larry Knight talking to Dennis Jackson now to maybe not only try to put down a sacrifice bunt, but maybe bunt for a hit. There's no better guy to try to do it here than Jackson. So the Bobcats trying to manufacture something here in the 9th inning and trying to sweep this District 7 4A series against the Aggies. But the Aggies have been feisty today. 2 great pitching performances. The first pitch by Jackson, he takes a strike and did not show bunt. Now Cody Bickford, the 8th grader for the Aggies, over at third base. He is even with the bag. The 0-1 pitch to Jackson is high. 1-1. Show's primarily a catcher and has been called upon here in relief. Tanner Morgan looking at the series of signs from Larry Knight at third base. 0-0 ball game here in the top of the 9th for Sumrall. The 1-1 pitch. High again. It gets away from the catcher. Morgan scoots down to second. So he's at second with 1 out. Barry led off the inning with a controversial drop third strike where they threw down to first base. It was a bad throw. But Barry was called for interference, we presume, and was ruled out. The 2-1 pitch. Foul at the plate, 2-2. Of course, the Aggies are going to get to bat here on their home field. The lights have come on here now as these darker clouds begin to move in. And you know what that's probably going to mean. Morgan, the ever-important lead runner at second base. Pitch is inside, 3-2. 1 out here for Sumrall. Very important for Morgan to be on his toes. He's not forced anywhere. He doesn't have to run. Anything hit to the right side, he'll be moving. Left side, he'll make sure that they go to first and then perhaps take off. The 3-2 pitch. Inside, ball 4. Jackson is on at first. And now Anthony James will cross the first base line and talk to Shows. Hunter Barrett will have all eyes on him. Let's see what he's done today. He walked in the first. He lined out to first in the second. He struck out looking in the 5th, and he grounded to second in the 7th. So here we are in the 9th. And Hunter Barrett now has runners on first and second base with 1 out. So the powwow conducted by Anthony James has concluded on the mound. Larry Knight and Steve Cooley huddled their troops. And so it's Barrett versus FCAHS. In the top of the 9th inning, 1 out, runners on first and second for Sumrall in a scoreless game. Even though we're in the 9th, the game is just now 2.5 hours old. The game has zipped along. First pitch is low, ball 1. The one that Barrett lined to first base was a scorcher that Wade Riles was able to snag on its way past him. The 1-0 pitch, swung on, popped him up. Right side of the infield. Mario Green calling for it and makes the catch. 2 away. So Mason Story comes up to bat with 2 away.
Bobcats first baseman Mason Story.
Story has one of the 2 hits tonight for Sumrall and is among the team leaders in hits. So this is certainly one of the guys you'd want up there in this situation. Runners will be moving on contact. The first pitch missed high, ball 1. Again, the lights on here at the ballpark in Brooklyn. Sumrall batting in the top of the 9th inning, trying to scratch out any kind of run. The 1-0 pitch to Story. Inside, 2-0. FCAHS thought it was there. You can tell by the delayed look that he kind of gave his catcher. But Donovan FCAHS, the wily veteran who was the catcher for the Aggies, and then gets up on the hill. And now he's got Story at 2-0, which is a dead fastball count. There's the 2-0 pitch, and it's inside, 3-0. And FCAHS is kind of making that kind of look, but if the umpire's not giving you that pitch, you have to adjust. So Story will be on the take here. The 3-0 pitch. Oh, no, he was swinging, and that ball is lined right to the right fielder. Oh, my. He was swinging on 3-0. He got the green light, and he stung it, but right there in right field was Jason Garner, who stuck out his glove and made the play. The Bobcats leave runners on first and second. No runs, no hits. There was a walk and a hit batsman. And the Aggies will have hitters 3, 4, and 5 coming up to bat to face Grant Reddy. And this is Reddy's game to win or lose. It is remarkable that the Bobcats have not scored a run this game. Larry Knight has said that his team can be a little bit streaky hitting-wise, but with the amount of walks and hit batsmen they've gotten, and they just haven't been able to scratch one across. Very unusual. And now the Sumrall defense will be put to the task again. FCAHS, Polk, and Garner are hitters 3, 4, and 5. And FCAHS is the guy that scares you. Because with this wind the way it is, he has doubled, singled, and popped to third. So FCAHS has 2 of the Aggies.
For the Aggies, pitcher Donovan FCAHS.
11 men on the bases for Sumrall, but haven't been able to get one across. So the first pitch from Donovan FCAHS to Grant Reddy is outside, ball 1. And FCAHS, very dangerous. This is the one that the Bobcats want to get right here. This pitch, high, 2-0. Show's the left-handed hitter, ready. The right-handed side armor. Wind still blowing out to center. The 2-0 pitch. Swung on. Here's a drive to center field. That ball is back. Dennis Jackson tracking it, and he makes the catch. He made the catch 2 steps from the fence. Wow. It looked.
The batter is Aggies catcher Blake Polk.
It looked like it had a chance, but when Dennis kept backtracking, you knew he had a beat on it. He's able to put it away, and here now is Blake Polk, who was the starting pitcher and is now the catcher. Polk has a 2-for-3 day working. The 1-0. Outside and in the dirt, 2-0 now. Jason Garner on deck, and should he reach then Daniel Kelly as the Aggies batting in the bottom of the 9th inning in a scoreless game. Swung on, here's a chopper to third. Barrett's got it, throws across his body. Easy play for Story to dig out of the dirt. 2 up and 2 down. And here's Jason Garner.
For the Aggies is right fielder Jason Garner.
Sumrall 0, Forest County 0. Here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Base is empty. First pitch to Garner's swing and a miss. As Grant Reddy on in relief of Cross Sibley. Looking to the Sumrall 10th. Robbins, Garrity, and Sibley are the scheduled hitters. Swung on, and this one is popped out of play. Crawford came over to give it a look, but saw quickly that he would have no play. So the count is 0-2 to Garner, the right fielder who was the guy who stuck his glove up and made that last out on Story. The 0-2 pitch. Breaking ball, strike 3 on the inside corner. Down he goes.
And no one left on base.
So the Aggies down in the 9th. No runs, no hits. FCAHS will go back to the mound. And the marathon continues. Now I say the scheduled hitters as the raindrops begin to fall again. That the scheduled hitters are Robbins, Garrity, and Sibley. Robbins has a bat. And we're going to have to go back under cover. And it's going to be harder this time, and I don't think it's going to leave once it starts. The umpires are looking up into the sky. We are on the front edge of this right now. We are sitting behind home plate, and the storms are coming from left field toward home. And when we look out that direction, it is nothing but gray. It's not a heavy rain. It's just a light rain, but I think it's probably going to get worse. So here's Robbins in the top of the 10th. Sumrall has only scratched out 2 hits. The Aggies have 3.
Leading off for Sumrall, designated hitter Garrett Robbins.
The first pitch to G is a fastball strike as Donovan FCAHS works now his 3rd inning of relief. Boy, Robbins is due with those quick hands. Second pitch inside, 1-1. Sumrall trying to get across any kind of run here in the 10th. 1-1 pitch, swing and a foul tip. FCAHS just challenging He's just challenging Robbins with heat. So the 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Robbins down on strikes. And he is visibly flustered. And here's big-time Billy now.
Right fielder, Billy Garrity.
Boy, this is a battle between the Bobcats and the Aggies. The first pitch from FCAHS is a bouncer in there. Donovan FCAHS, a fierce competitor. Garrity's already walked 3 times today. They know how dangerous he is as he leads the Sumrall team in home runs. The 1-0 pitch. Fastball, strike. Just put it down the chute. Rain is light, but continues to fall. The 1-1 pitch. Off speed, low and away, 2-1. Bases empty, 1 out here in the top of the 10th inning. Sumrall trying to string some hits together here and get a run across. We are scoreless. There's a strike. So the count is 2 balls and 2 strikes now to Garrity. Wind continues to blow out towards center, maybe just a hair toward right. But it's pretty strong breeze. 2-2 pitch. Took something off of it and bounced to the plate. 3-2 to Garrity. With Cross Sibley on deck. Sibley was the starting pitcher, along with Polk. But when the game went extra innings, both of those guys were relieved. Here's the 2-2, or the 3-2. Swung on, popped it up, left field line, the ball carrying. Foul ball. Is it a fair ball? And wait a minute, the umpires have their arms in the air. That's a foul ball, and it looks like the left fielder going to make the catch in the corner ran into the fence. So the call is foul. Garrity thought it was fair.
I think what the umpire did was he held his hand straight out, but to the left side, instead of holding both hands straight up.
Meaning foul ball. So several of the Aggie players down there in the corner to check on Alec Adams, the left fielder. And now they're beginning to walk back up this direction. The count I have at 3-2. The scoreboard says 2-2. So it looks like Garrity's going to come back and we're going to do this all over again. And a round of applause for Alec Adams as he tracked it all the way into the corner. And again, it's not like the Aggies have a lot of extra players to be able to go to on the bench. Larry Knight is even indicating that the ball was foul by about about 8 inches. Larry Knight looks like he gave the indicator that it was foul. So 3-2, the count to Garrity, and now the umpire holds up 3-2. So the scoreboard is wrong, but you can't see the scoreboard. Here's the payoff pitch again to Garrity. Outside, ball 4, the 4th walk of the game for Garrity. And now Anthony James might have to make another pitching move here. But he's kind of looking at he and the home plate umpire, Scott McMurrian, had a conversation, but it doesn't look like anything will happen.
At 84, Sumrall left fielder, Cross Sibley.
So here's Sibley with a runner at first and 1 out. Now time. Oh, we've got lightning in the area. Lightning delay has been called. A lightning delay has been called here in Brooklyn. So a lightning delay will be at least 25 minutes. At least 25 minutes before the game would resume, as lightning has been sighted in the area. All right, Jeremy, what do we do now?
Go off the air.
We do. Okay. So we are under a lightning delay. We have played a little over 9 innings, and we still don't have a leader in this one. We are tied at 0 between Sumrall and Brooklyn. Just continue to listen to the stream, and
I'm probably going to turn it off. Probably look at Sumrall Athletics on Twitter or Facebook.
okay. All right. Just shut it. It's your call, man.
I'm shutting it off.
Okay. So the rest of this game, you'll be able to follow on Twitter at Sumrall Athletics.
Yes.
So we are shutting down because of the potential rain and electricity and things here. We don't want to tangle with electricity and water. So we're going to shut down the system, follow the rest of this game. Sorry, but I hope you understand. Follow it on Sumrall Athletics on Twitter. For producer-engineer Jeremy Thompson, I'm Kelly Sander. Thanks for joining us. Sumrall and Brooklyn officially in a lightning delay, tied at 0 in the top of the 10th inning. You have been listening to Sumrall Bobcat Baseball.